Hey everybody, Dan Bieranowski here. Today we are taking a look at Beau Burchell's signature series drums from Room Sound. Room Sound has partnered with other producers in the past like Jay Moss and Kurt Ballou, and with this plugin they've partnered with Beau Burchell to get his signature drum sounds into a Kontakt library and a playable plugin. The Kontakt library doesn't have to be run in the full version of Kontakt. You can use Kontakt Player, which is free, which means you can load this plugin in with that free player and use these sounds immediately. It works functionally similar to other drum plugins. There's a drop-down menu on each shell where you can swap out elements. There's presets. We're working off of preset 4 here, which is his basic rock preset. The mixer section gives you the ability to change the mixed volume of each of these elements, but also gives you 5 effect slots built into the plugin, so you can use the different effects that they include with the plugin itself, like EQs and compression and limiters and things like that. Super cool additional feature there. And in this demonstration, I'll show you a mix of the drums only using what's built into this user interface. And then I'll show you another mix where we were able to route audio out into different auxes for kick, snare, toms, overheads, and rooms that were processed externally. So give you a little bit of a difference between functionality there. Within this mixer window, you also have the ability to control the mic bleed into each individual drum, which is kind of a neat feature and adds to some of the realism. So if I leave the mic bleed on, you could listen to, via these bleed controls, the kick mic picking up the snare sound or the toms, etc. You also have reverb built in to the mixer window as well to give you some reverb sounds and things like that. There's a channel output section on the bottom right. This is how you would route audio out of a stereo out of Kontakt into a different aux, which I'll show you in the stemmed out version of this track. Let's take a listen to what this sounds like. This is all processed within the plugin, so there's no plugins on the drums other than what you're hearing directly from the Signature Drum Series plugin. There are some master channel effects added, so all of this routing gets passed through a master channel, which I've added some different compression and EQ and limiting on. Otherwise, everything is on an individual track basis using these insert effects. So let's take a listen to what this sounds like. So as you can see, it's pretty much mix ready just based on using the internal processing that's included with the plugins. That's a really nice touch to give the insert effects for each channel right there within the user interface. Makes it really easy for you to work within a single plugin, and then you can build presets of your own that are pretty much EQ'd and compressed the way that you would like. So you're able to get to the recording part of things much faster. Spending the amount of time sometimes building sessions and building out your plugin chains, that stuff can eat up time and it can eat up some of your creative energy. So it's kind of a nice touch. Within the kit select window, you have some humanization options and things like that to add to the realism. You also have control over velocity and stuff. So the performance itself, while you might write in the MIDI what you want your velocities to be at, the GUI can contribute to that performance as well. You have some sustain options here for the rooms and things like that to make the room sound bigger or smaller. And you you can affect pitch too. So you can see you can do that on a per instrument basis. You can change out the key map as well, which if you're used to working with a specific key map from a different plugin, you can have custom presets and things like that so that you don't have to reassign your key map all the time. And there's a groove library, so you can pull in MIDI grooves if you wanted for the purpose of helping you with songwriting and things like that, which is a really nice touch as well. So now we're looking at a different session that I had pre-built for this track that gives me a summed output of the kick, the snare, the toms, the overheads, and the rooms. And if you look at the mixer here, you can see how those are output via this channel output button. And you can see the snares coming out of stereo 3, rack tom and floor toms out of 4, etc. And then via auxes, I can process those with my own plugins outside of the room sound user interface. So you can see I've bypassed all the processing that I had on this channel, and now I'm only processing via plugins on each aux. So that's really nice for the purposes of using the tools that I normally would like to use for processing a drum kit. I get all the benefits of the sounds that Beau and Room Sound have baked into this plugin without being stuck to just using the internal tools that they provide, but actually using those sounds and processing them with my own chains. So let's take a listen to what that sounds like. It's the same song, same guitar and bass tracks, same drum programming, just processed outside of the Room Sound plugin. So with processing like that, you can see we're able to take different individual outputs out of Kontakt into their own tracks, where you can process just the kick, just the snare, just the toms, or you could even be more granular and have a kick in track and a kick out track, or a snare top and a snare bottom track. And you can get really granular the way that you would with a normal huge recording session. But if your goal is to get ideas down and get them down quick, you don't have to use any external processing. The built-in processing is really powerful and functional. And most importantly, the drum sounds are great.